Welcome back to the channel. Have you ever wondered if that penny sitting in your pocket or jar might be worth more than a cent? In the world of coin collecting, even the most ordinary coins can hold extraordinary stories and surprising value. Among these is the humble 1963 US penny, a coin with a fascinating past, unique variations, and, if you're lucky, a chance to be worth far more than its face value. The 1963 penny might seem like just another coin, but take a closer look. Each one carries decades of history and represents an era of cultural and economic transformation in the United States. By the time this coin was minted, John F. Kennedy was leading the nation, the civil rights movement was gaining momentum, and the U.S. Mint was producing billions of pennies every year to meet the demands of a growing economy. Yet, hidden among these billions, there are rare variations and error coins that collectors are willing to pay hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars to own. Let's start with the basics. The 1963 penny is part of the Lincoln Cent series, one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. First introduced in 1909 to honor the centennial of President Abraham Lincoln's birth, the design features Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait of Lincoln on the obverse, front, side. On the reverse side, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial design, which replaced the wheat ears motif in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This design would continue to grace the penny until 2008, making it a staple in American coinage for nearly 50 years. What makes the 1963 penny particularly intriguing is its composition and the minting details. Like all pennies minted between 1959 and 1982, it was made primarily of copper, 95% copper, to be precise, with the remaining 5% consisting of zinc and tin. This pre-1982 composition is noteworthy because it contains more copper than pennies minted after 1982, when the rising cost of copper forced the U.S. Mint to switch to a predominantly zinc composition with a thin copper plating. In fact, the copper in a pre-1982 penny is worth more than 1 cent today, making these coins intrinsically valuable even if they aren't rare. In 1963, the U.S. Mint produced pennies at 2 locations, Philadelphia and Denver. The Philadelphia Mint produced 754 million pennies that year, while the Denver Mint added over 1.7 billion, making the combined mintage for 1963 exceed 2.4 billion coins. With such high production numbers, most 1963 pennies are common and circulate to this day. However, not all 1963 pennies are created equal. Some have distinguishing features or errors that make them stand out to collectors. One of the key factors that determine a penny's value is the mint mark, or lack thereof. Pennies minted in Denver bear a small D mint mark on the obverse side, just below the date. Pennies minted in Philadelphia have no mint mark. While neither mint mark is inherently rarer, certain varieties or errors associated with the mint marks can make a coin more desirable. Speaking of errors, this is where the 1963 penny gets exciting. Errors occur during the minting process and can result in unique features that are highly sought after by collectors. For example, a common error on 1963 pennies is the double die obverse, DDO, where the design on the front side appears doubled due to a misalignment during the striking process. Letters, numbers, or even Lincoln's profile may show noticeable doubling, making these coins worth significantly more than their face value. Another popular error is the repunched mint mark, RPM, where the D mint mark was stamped more than once, often at slightly different angles. These coins are rarer and can fetch impressive prices at auctions. Similarly, off-center strikes and planchet errors, where the coin blank wasn't properly aligned during minting, can result in unusual shapes or partial designs that collectors love. Condition also plays a crucial role in a coin's value. Coins that have been heavily circulated often show significant wear and tear, which can lower their value. On the other hand, a 1963 penny in uncirculated condition meaning it was never used in transactions and retains its original luster, can be worth several dollars or more depending on its grade. The highest grades, such as MS-67 or MS-68, as determined by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC, are exceptionally rare and can command high premiums. For the truly exceptional 1963 pennies, the sky's the limit. In rare cases, a flawless coin with a unique error or impeccable provenance can sell for thousands of dollars. These coins are often featured at prestigious auctions, where competitive bidding drives up their value. Imagine stumbling across a penny in your change jar and discovering it's worth more than a luxury watch. How incredible would that be? So, how can you spot a valuable 1963 penny? Start by examining your coins closely under good lighting. A magnifying glass or loupe can help you spot details like mint marks, doubling, or other irregularities. Pay attention to the overall condition of the coin, its luster, surface marks, and sharpness of the design. If you believe you found a valuable penny, consider having it professionally graded. Certified coins are more attractive to collectors and can fetch higher prices at auction. In conclusion, the 1963 penny is more than just a 1-cent piece of currency, it's a window into history, a treasure hunt waiting to happen, and, for the lucky few, a potential windfall. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious beginner, this coin offers a glimpse into the fascinating world of numismatics. So, the next time you find a penny on the ground, don't dismiss it, take a closer look. You never know, you might be holding a hidden gem worth far more than its weight in copper. This narrative immerses the reader in the allure of the 1963 penny while providing detailed, practical insights into its history, value, and collectible potential. Would you like to adjust this further or focus on any specific aspects? The 1964 US penny is one of those seemingly ordinary coins that hides incredible potential for discovery. To the untrained eye, it may appear as just another copper-based coin circulating as part of everyday transactions. However, for collectors, numismatists, and even those with a sharp eye for detail, the 1964 penny can represent much more than its face value. It's a coin that tells a story of historical transformation, changing economic conditions, and, perhaps most intriguingly, rarities and errors that could make one of these pennies worth far more than a single cent. Before diving deep into the intricate details that make the 1964 penny so fascinating, let's first take a moment to appreciate its context. The year 1964 was an iconic time in American history. The United States was in the midst of significant change. John F. Kennedy, who had tragically passed away the previous year, had left an indelible mark on the nation. The coinage of this era, particularly the 1964 penny, reflects that transformation. Amid the cultural shifts and political events, the U.S. Mint was continuing its decades-long mission of producing the currency needed for the country's expanding economy. In 1964, the composition of the penny was still based on 95% copper and 5% zinc, a formula that would change just a few years later. But in 1964, copper was abundant and affordable, and the U.S. Mint continued producing pennies that were durable, reliable, and abundant, minting nearly 1.5 billion pennies that year. Despite the overwhelming production of pennies in 1964, some of these coins carry subtle but significant differences that make them stand out. A variety of factors, ranging from minting errors to unique designs, helped create a rich world of collectible pennies for those keen enough to spot them. So, what makes the 1964 penny so important, and why does it continue to capture the imagination of collectors today? The answer lies in both the historical significance of the coin and the hidden treasures that some of these pennies harbor. Let's take a closer look at the 1964 penny, starting with its design. The most notable feature of the penny has always been its depiction of Abraham Lincoln. The image, created by artist Victor David Brenner, has been on the front, obverse, of the penny since 1909. The Lincoln Memorial on the reverse side, introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, further solidified the penny's iconic design. This design, showing the memorial in Washington, D.C., was a change from the wheat stalks that had adorned the reverse side of the penny for nearly half a century. While the 1964 penny is often considered a part of the traditional coinage of the 20th century, it also marked the end of an era. This was the last year that the penny was minted using a 95% copper composition before changes in the metals used in coinage began to take effect in the late 1960s due to rising copper prices. As a result of these changes, the 1964 penny remains a beloved item among collectors. It's a link between the past and the present, representing a time when coins were made from materials that have since become valuable in their own right. The copper used in the 1964 penny is now worth far more than the coin itself, especially in the context of the rising costs of copper that would follow in the subsequent decades. Beyond its metal content, the 1964 penny also carries significant meaning because it was produced during a time when the U.S. Mint was refining its processes. One of the most striking elements of the 1964 penny is the quality of its design. The coin features sharp details, especially in the depiction of Lincoln's face, which is an achievement that speaks to the Mint's commitment to producing high-quality currency. For this reason, many 1964 pennies in uncirculated or near-mint condition are considered highly desirable to collectors. However, even within the millions of 1964 pennies produced, there are a few key features that make certain pennies more valuable. Mint errors are one of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting, and the 1964 penny is no exception. Some pennies from this year have unique characteristics or flaws that make them stand out in the numismatic community. These variations can drastically increase the value of a coin, often by several orders of magnitude. Let's take a moment to discuss some of these rare features. One of the most notable error types on the 1964 penny is the double die obverse. This error occurs when the design elements on the front of the coin, such as the date or the word Liberty, are struck twice, creating a noticeable doubling effect. The doubling is especially apparent on the letters and numbers, giving them a blurry or doubled appearance. These pennies are extremely sought after by collectors and can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the severity of the doubling and the condition of the coin. Another interesting error is the repunched mint mark, where the D mint mark used to indicate a coin minted in Denver is struck multiple times, resulting in a distorted or doubled mint mark. While this error is rarer than some others, it's highly coveted by collectors who specialize in mint mark variations. The 1964 penny's mint mark can tell you a lot about its origin. Pennies minted in Philadelphia do not have a mint mark, while those struck in Denver carry the D mint mark. Despite the large mintage of 1964 pennies, these subtle minting errors create exciting opportunities for collectors to find a rare coin among millions of identical pieces. Additionally, the 1964 penny also saw some interesting variations based on the quality of the strike. The U.S. Mint at the time was using a variety of dies to strike coins, and some of these dies were in better condition than others. Some 1964 pennies, especially those from the earlier part of the year, were struck with new dies and came out with crisp, clear details. Others, however, were struck with worn dies that produced blurry or poorly defined features on the coin. Pennies struck with these worn dies tend to be less desirable, but those with high-quality strikes are highly prized. As we delve further into the world of coin collecting, it becomes clear that the 1964 penny, though one of the most common coins in terms of mintage, has potential for discovery. The errors, mint variations, and the historical significance of this penny are what make it fascinating for collectors and enthusiasts alike. Whether you're looking for a rare error coin or just hoping to find a pristine specimen, the 1964 penny offers something for everyone. But why does the 1964 penny still remain such a desirable item for collectors and numismatists? Well, as we continue our exploration, you'll see how these coins, despite their commonality in the context of mass production, hold an almost endless array of possibilities for discovery. The 1964 penny is part of a broader coin-collecting landscape where history, rarity, and chance come together to create exciting opportunities. Could your loose change be hiding one of these rare specimens, waiting to be uncovered? Let's pause for a moment and imagine this. What if you were to come across a 1964 penny that had a minting error? Or better yet, what if you found one in perfect, uncirculated condition, just as it was the day it was minted? How much could it be worth? It's hard to say for certain, but in the world of numismatics, rare and valuable pennies from 1964 have fetched prices that would shock many casual observers. Some examples have been sold at auctions for thousands of dollars. Take a good look at this coin. It's just a penny, right? But what if I told you this tiny piece of copper could be worth hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars? That's right. Buried in plain sight, a 1962 penny might be the most valuable thing sitting in your pocket change right now. You just need to know what to look for. And in the next few minutes, I'm going to guide you through the secrets of this seemingly ordinary coin, from its fascinating history to the rare and incredible features that make it so desirable to collectors. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes some of these pennies worth their weight in gold. So stick around, because you might already own a hidden treasure without even realizing it. Let's travel back to 1962. It was a year of transformation, a time when the world was on the cusp of change. The Beatles were captivating audiences across the Atlantic, John F. Kennedy was leading the United States through a complex era, and the Cold War was intensifying. Amid all this, the humble penny, a simple 1-cent coin, was quietly being minted as part of American history. But don't be fooled by its simplicity. This coin is a tiny time capsule of its era. It carries the weight of its production, the meticulous craftsmanship of its design, and the story of how it came to be one of the most intriguing coins for collectors today. The 1962 penny is made primarily of copper, 95% copper, to be exact, with a 5% mix of zinc to strengthen it. This was before the copper shortage of the 1980s that forced pennies to be made with a much cheaper zinc core. Back in 1962, pennies were crafted to last. They were built as solid coins, each one a tiny work of art. The obverse, or front, of the coin features Abraham Lincoln, whose portrait had been proudly placed on the penny since 1909, when it replaced the Indian head St. Victor D. Brenner. The designer of this iconic image left his mark not just on the coin but on American culture. And the reverse side? Well, by 1962, the original wheat ears design had been replaced by the stately Lincoln Memorial. This change, made in 1959, added a modern touch to the penny, symbolizing both tradition and progress. But wait, have you ever taken a closer look at what's actually on this penny? There's more to this coin than meets the eye. Each tiny detail, from the lettering to the mint mark, can hold clues about its origin and value. And here's where it gets really interesting. Not every 1962 penny was made the same way. Some of them hold secrets that could make them incredibly valuable. Let's talk about how these pennies were made. In 1962, there were two main U.S. mint locations producing pennies, Philadelphia and Denver. If your penny doesn't have a mint mark, it was made in Philadelphia. If it has a tiny D under the year, it was minted in Denver. Now, here's the staggering part: over 1.7 billion pennies were produced in Denver, and 606 million came from Philadelphia. That's over 2.3 billion pennies in total. But don't let those numbers fool you into thinking they're all common. Despite their massive production, some of these coins have become incredibly scarce, and that scarcity is where the excitement begins. What if I told you that a tiny letter on your penny could mean the difference between 1 cent and $1,000? That's right. The mint mark, or lack thereof, can make all the difference. But the real jackpot comes from something much more elusive: error coins. These are the pennies that didn't come out of the mint quite right, and they're like catnip for collectors. This is where it gets exciting. Error coins are the holy grail for coin enthusiasts, and the 1962 penny has some legendary ones. Let's start with the double die obverse, or DDO. This error occurs when the design is accidentally struck twice, creating a slight but noticeable doubling effect. Look closely at the letters or Lincoln's profile. If you spot doubling, you might be holding a penny worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Then there's the repunched mint mark, or RPM. This happens when the mint mark, like the D for Denver, is struck multiple times in slightly different positions. These coins are rare and highly sought after. And don't forget about off-center strikes and planchet errors, where the coin is either struck outside the usual boundaries or made on a defective metal blank. Each of these errors tells a story about how the coin was made, and collectors can't get enough of them. Imagine finding a penny in your drawer and learning it's worth more than $500. It's not just a dream, it's entirely possible. Some 1962 pennies with errors have sold at auction for jaw-dropping prices. In fact, the market for these rare coins is hotter than ever, with collectors and enthusiasts scouring their change for the next big find. So, how can you tell if your penny is a hidden treasure? Let me break it down for you. First, you'll need the right tools. A magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe is essential for spotting tiny details like doubling or mint mark anomalies. Online resources and coin forums can help you identify what you're looking at. Next, examine your penny carefully. Look for signs of errors, such as doubling, misplaced mint marks, or irregular shapes. The condition of the coin is also crucial. Coins in better condition are worth significantly more. Finally, if you think you've found something special, consider having it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. These organizations can authenticate your coin and assign it a grade, which plays a huge role in determining its value. But there's one incredibly rare 1962 penny that has collectors buzzing, and I'll reveal it in just a moment. You won't believe what makes this particular coin so valuable. Now, here's the part you've been waiting for, the holy grail of 1962 pennies. This coin is so rare and so unique that it has set records at auctions. In one remarkable case, a flawless 1962 penny with a rare error sold for over $10,000. That's right, $10,000 for a single penny. What made it so special? It was a combination of factors: an extremely rare double die error, impeccable condition, and the historical significance of the coin. This is the kind of find that makes collectors' hearts race and proves that treasure hunting is alive and well. Finding a penny like this is incredibly rare, but it's not impossible. Coins like this are out there, waiting to be discovered. And with the knowledge you've gained today, you're one step closer to uncovering your own hidden gem. Now that you know what to look for, the question is, do you have a hidden gem in your pocket change? The 1962 penny is more than just a coin, it's a piece of history, a collector's dream, and possibly a ticket to a life-changing discovery. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just getting started, this coin has something for everyone. If you enjoyed this dive into the 1962 penny, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. And let me know in the comments, what's the coolest coin you've ever found? I'd love to hear your stories. And stay tuned, because next time, we'll explore another incredible coin that could be worth a fortune. Until then, happy hunting. The 1993 United States penny is a fascinating piece of American currency, rich in historical significance, design continuity, and cultural value. Though it may seem like an ordinary coin to most, its history, production, and symbolic nature make it an integral part of the story of U.S. coinage. Understanding the 1993 penny goes beyond its role as a 1-cent piece. It is a window into the traditions, economics, and artistry that define American numismatics. The U.S. penny, officially the 1-cent coin, has been a part of the nation's currency since its introduction in 1793. Over its long history, the penny has undergone numerous changes in design, composition, and manufacturing processes. The 1993 penny is part of the modern era of Lincoln cents, a design series that has been in circulation since 1909. The continuity of this series speaks to the enduring legacy of President Abraham Lincoln and his significance in American history. The design of the 1993 penny is a continuation of the iconic Lincoln cent series. On the obverse, or front side, is the familiar bust of Abraham Lincoln, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner. This portrait was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Lincoln's birth. Brenner's depiction of Lincoln, characterized by its detailed rendering and solemn expression, was revolutionary when it debuted, as it marked the first time a U.S. president's image appeared on a circulating coin. Over a century later, this design remains a powerful symbol of Lincoln's leadership and the values he stood for. The reverse side of the 1993 penny features the image of the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. This design replaced the earlier, wheat ears, reverse in 1959, which had been in use since the Lincoln cent's inception. Gasparo's depiction of the Lincoln Memorial is notable for its architectural precision and symbolic resonance. The memorial, a tribute to Lincoln's legacy, is a fitting counterpart to Brenner's obverse portrait. Together, these elements create a coin that is not just a piece of currency but a tribute to one of America's greatest presidents. The materials used to mint the 1993 penny reflect a practical response to economic realities. For much of its history, the penny was made primarily of copper. However, by the early 1980s, rising copper prices led to a change in composition. Starting in 1982, pennies were produced with a core of zinc and a thin copper plating, significantly reducing production costs. The 1993 penny, like other pennies minted during this period, is composed of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. Despite this shift, the coin retains its traditional copper color, ensuring continuity in appearance even as its internal structure changed. The production of the 1993 penny was a massive endeavor, carried out at two main facilities, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. Pennies struck at the Philadelphia Mint bear no mint mark, while those produced at the Denver Mint are marked with a small D mint mark. The high mintage numbers for 1993 pennies ensured their widespread availability, making them a common and recognizable part of everyday transactions. While the 1993 penny is not rare in terms of overall mintage, there are certain factors that can make individual coins more desirable to collectors. Minting errors, for example, are a significant area of interest in numismatics. Errors such as double dies, off-center strikes, or coins struck on defective planchets can result in unique and valuable pieces. These errors occur during the minting process and are often the result of mechanical issues or human oversight. For collectors, finding such anomalies in a seemingly ordinary penny can be an exciting and rewarding experience. The condition of a 1993 penny also plays a critical role in determining its value. Coins that have been well preserved, showing minimal wear and retaining their original mint luster, are highly sought after. These high-grade coins are typically evaluated by professional grading services, such as the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or the Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC. A 1993 penny in mint state, MS, condition, particularly if it features an unusual error, can be worth significantly more than its face value beyond its physical characteristics. The 1993 penny carries cultural and historical significance. Abraham Lincoln's image on the obverse is not merely a portrait, it is a symbol of resilience, equality, and leadership. The inclusion of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse further underscores these values, creating a coin that serves as both a functional currency and a representation of national ideals. The 1993 penny, like its predecessors, is a small but powerful emblem of American identity. The penny also holds a unique place in the hearts of many Americans. For children, it often serves as an introduction to the concept of money and saving. For collectors, it represents a starting point for building a collection or the pursuit of rare and valuable coins. Even for those who use it casually, the penny is a familiar and comforting presence, a reminder of the continuity and stability of American currency. While the face value of a 1993 penny is just 1 cent, its true worth can vary significantly depending on its condition, errors, and other unique factors. Some pennies from this year have achieved values far exceeding their denomination, particularly when they are part of a high-grade collection or feature rare minting anomalies. These exceptional coins capture the imagination of collectors and highlight the hidden potential of what many consider an ordinary object. The debate over the future of the penny adds another layer of interest to the 1993 coin. In recent years, there has been ongoing discussion about whether to discontinue the penny due to its declining purchasing power and the cost of production. While the 1993 penny itself is not directly affected by these debates, its existence as part of the broader history of the 1-cent coin makes it a point of reference in discussions about the future of U.S. currency. Ultimately, the 1993 U.S. penny is much more than a small, copper-colored coin. It is a piece of history, a work of art, and a symbol of enduring values. Its design, production, and cultural significance make it a fascinating subject for collectors, historians, and anyone interested in the story of American money. Whether viewed as a collectible, a practical tool, or a nostalgic keepsake, the 1993 penny holds a special place in the rich tapestry of U.S. coinage. The 1991 United States penny, a seemingly unremarkable piece of currency, hides a fascinating world of history, design, and intrigue within its small, unassuming frame. For most people, it's just a common coin, barely worth noticing as it passes through hands, pockets, and registers. Yet, for those who take the time to delve deeper, the 1991 penny is a gateway into the rich history of American coinage, the artistry of its creators, and the economics that shaped its production. This coin, with its enduring design and far-reaching legacy, represents far more than just a single cent. The story of the 1991 penny begins long before it was minted, rooted in over 2 centuries of American history. The penny, officially known as the 1-cent coin, has been a cornerstone of U.S. currency since its debut in 1793. Over the decades, it has undergone numerous transformations in design, composition, and even public perception. By the time the 1991 penny was struck, it had already become a fixture of American life, instantly recognizable and deeply ingrained in the nation's culture. The design of the 1991 penny, like most modern pennies, is a testament to continuity and tradition. The obverse side features the iconic profile of Abraham Lincoln, a design that dates back to 1909. Created by sculptor Victor David Brenner to commemorate the centennial of Lincoln's birth, this portrait was groundbreaking at the time of its introduction. It marked the first time a U.S. president's likeness appeared on a circulating coin, a practice that has since become standard. Brenner's depiction of Lincoln, with its solemn expression and detailed rendering, has endured for over a century, becoming one of the most recognizable images in American numismatics. On the reverse side, the 1991 penny bears the image of the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo. This design, introduced in 1959 to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth, replaced the earlier wheat ears motif. Gasparo's portrayal of the memorial is notable not only for its architectural accuracy but also for its symbolic weight. The Lincoln Memorial, a physical embodiment of Lincoln's legacy and ideals, serves as a fitting counterpart to Brenner's portrait. Together, these designs create a coin that is both a piece of currency and a tribute to one of America's most revered leaders. The materials used to create the 1991 penny also tell a story of adaptation and resourcefulness. For much of its history, the penny was made of solid copper. However, By the early 1980s, rising copper prices prompted a change in composition. Starting in 1982, pennies were produced with a core of zinc and a thin copper coating, significantly reducing production costs while maintaining the coin's traditional appearance. The 1991 penny, like its counterparts from that period, is composed of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. This change, though largely invisible to the casual observer, represents a pragmatic response to economic pressures and a shift in the way coins were made. The production of 1991 pennies was a massive undertaking, carried out at two primary facilities, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. Together, these mints produced billions of pennies, ensuring that the coin remained a ubiquitous part of daily transactions. Pennies struck at the Philadelphia Mint bear no mint mark, while those from the Denver Mint are distinguished by a small D mint mark. Despite their high mintage numbers, not all 1991 pennies are created equal. For collectors and enthusiasts, the real excitement lies in the search for rare errors, high-grade examples, and other anomalies that set certain coins apart. One of the most intriguing aspects of the 1991 penny is the potential for minting errors. Errors occur during the coin production process and can result in unique and highly sought-after pieces. For example, a double die error, where parts of the design appear doubled due to a misalignment during minting, can significantly increase a coin's value. Other errors, such as off-center strikes or coins struck on defective planchets, are similarly prized by collectors. These mistakes, though unintentional, add an element of rarity and mystery to the 1991 penny, transforming it from an ordinary coin into a coveted collectible. The condition of a 1991 penny is another crucial factor in determining its value. Coins that have been well preserved, showing minimal wear and retaining their original luster, are highly desirable among collectors. Such coins are typically graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, which assign a numerical score based on factors like strike quality, surface condition, and overall eye appeal. A 1991 penny in mint state, MS, condition can command a premium over its face value, especially if it also features a rare error or variety beyond its physical attributes. The 1991 penny holds cultural and historical significance. The image of Abraham Lincoln, as rendered by Brenner, is more than just a portrait, it is a symbol of resilience, integrity, and leadership. The inclusion of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse reinforces these ideals, creating a coin that serves as both a medium of exchange and a reflection of national values. In a way, the 1991 penny is a miniature time capsule, encapsulating the spirit of its era and the ideals of a nation. For many Americans, the 1991 penny is more than just a collectible or a piece of currency, it is a source of nostalgia and personal connection. Whether it's the memory of receiving a shiny new penny as a child, the excitement of finding a rare coin in change, or the satisfaction of building a coin collection, the penny holds a special place in the hearts of many. Its small size belies its immense significance, making it a cherished part of American life. In rare cases, a 1991 penny can achieve extraordinary value, far exceeding its humble origins. These exceptional coins, often the result of unusual errors or perfect preservation, have been known to fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. Such cases capture the imagination of collectors and inspire others to take a closer look at the coins in their possession. After all, who wouldn't be thrilled to discover that a simple penny, seemingly worth only 1 cent, is actually a hidden treasure? The 1991 penny is a remarkable piece of American history, art, and culture. Its design, composition, and production reflect the challenges and triumphs of its time, while its enduring popularity speaks to the universal appeal of coins as symbols of identity and value. For those who take the time to study and appreciate it, the 1991 penny offers a fascinating glimpse into the world of numismatics and a deeper understanding of the stories behind the coins we use every day. In the end, this unassuming coin reminds us that even the smallest and most overlooked objects can hold great meaning and worth.